Alright, what's up guys? So, there's new updates coming to Rust and I thought I'd react to it on a video. Generally, my favorite Rust update YouTuber is SHADOWFRAX. Please subscribe to him if you play Rust. Generally, this isn't a partnership, this isn't no sponsorships. I just generally love this dude and he just simplifies everything to the best. With that, let's get right into it.
Greetings survivors and friends, SHADOWFRAX here, chasing down all the major news in Rust development and forcing it to own up to exactly what we're expecting to see in next week's PC patch, including a new attachment. But first, Rust is yet again dipping its legs into a real-world collab with in-game consequences, and in case you haven't read it, Welly Pets are producing a special real-life rendered-in-rubber pair of frog boots.
Welly pets are a real thing?
Pets being, of course, the originators of the actual thing, a pair of which I've owned for a very long time, naturally. These ones are a premium limited black and green variant available for pre-order and will also grant purchasers an exclusive item of headgear for the PC Master Race version only, a preview of which you can see here, and I'm still waiting to find out what the
$150? Are you joking?
protection stats are, but I believe they will be unique, and something tells me these might be a bit of a status symbol on vanilla. Please note, these are on pre-order only at the mo, with shipping towards the end of the year, and the in-game Welly hat won't be available until shipping happens. In the meantime, please enjoy these images. There's no mention in the blurb about the new boots giving radiation protection, so I'm going to assume they do for the price, and that they'll be perfectly safe to wear in and around Chernobyl, but don't quote me on that. Sadly, this won't also give you access to the in-game frog boots, which were given out for those who were here in early access, and I would definitely like to see a full frog armor set one day, but what do you think? Answers below. Wallpaper is finally coming next week, as shown in my last video.
Wallpaper's kinda useless. Like, what do I need this for, bro?
There will be 4 basic colours available for crafting as a default item, costing 20 cloth per panel. That's blue, red, yellow and green. As for the 22 others, there'll be a DLC pack, not sure on price yet, and there have been some slight lineup changes from last week. Glow boards have been removed, sadly, or
Okay, well those are OP, so that's understandable.
maybe not sadly, as they'd be pay to glow, probably. And these have been replaced by a couple of new ones, namely Yellow Stripe and Blue Diamond. Hopefully, lots of other wallpaper skins are rolled out in future, and for admins, there are some new wallpaper console commands being added, which I will stick in the description for you, if I remember. Something else that seems to be a late addition, hopefully making it into this patch, is a new weapon attachment. I present the GCO, or Gas Compression Overdrive, and here's a snapshot of the stats. It's an internal weapon mod which compresses and directs gases used for cycling the weapon to the barrel, effectively increasing projectile velocity and damage at the expense of cycle rate. So as you can see...
Okay. First of all, this is kind of OP, but kind of not. Cause just hear me out for a second. On AK, this would be terrible, cause you kind of want that speed, you know what I mean? At least if you're good. But on a gun like Custom or MP5, this would be OP. I mean, plus 20% damage. This is actually OP for lower tier guns with like extremely high fire rates.
It'll give plus 30% to velocity and plus 20% to damage, but minus 20% to fire rate and plus 10% to recoil. This should hopefully be coming in the next patch, subject to change, but let me know your thoughts below. As mentioned before, there were plans to make some TTK increases with an attire protection buff pass, but I'm not sure if these will be ready for the next patch. I guess we'll see over the next week. There will of course be the new digital clock coming in the next patch, which will let
I like this update a lot, actually. This digital clock is actually really cool.
you set alarms to automate circuits based on server time. See the last couple of vids for details about that. And the colorblind settings from Hack Week are being merged and are on staging now.
To be honest, I'm just gonna use this to make my game look cooler.
In the accessibility tab in the options, these will let you control the colors of tree markers, stat bars, name tags, monument block visualizations, mushrooms, holosites, and laser detectors, including presets for Protonopia, Deuteranopia, Tritonopia, and custom combos. And of course, if you're not colorblind but just fancy tripping out with blue mushrooms or yellow lasers, then go for it, I say. In other changes, dynamic vendor pricing's being adjusted again. The default price update frequency is changing from 5 down to 3 hours, and there will be an automatic adjustment to this for weekly and bi-weekly tagged servers. Pause here for details. Oh, and picking up a door with a door controller attached now gives you back the door controller. Huzzah! Over to works in progress, and as you may be aware, the biggest update of the year probably is being slated for October, and as a recap, the team are working on a major update to World Generation with new procedural lakes, canyons, and oases, plus totally revamped rivers, as shown last.
With the way and the amount of build spots you have in Rust, this is kind of screwing over the world, but it's actually kind of cool, and I don't mind this update at all.
Last week, underwater
Also, I feel like it could make for some really cool base spots.
dive sites are being redone too, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more to show on all of this over the next month, so please stay tuned and I'll show you when I get it. Water wells are being changed too, with new food and tea caches being added.
Who the fuck uses the water well in the first place?
And even some water wells getting an NPC vendor, it seems, just in case you'd like a premium bottle of water, I guess, with a guaranteed rad content probably. There'll also be a hefty number of new DLC items, including more frontier stuff like a hazmat, hatchet, blunderbuster skin, high caliber revolver, and as we can see this week, new frontier gate and high wall skins. No
Ooh, that could actually be very interesting. I like that.
images yet, sadly, but I will attempt to extract them as soon as I can. Right, I think that'll be all for you lot this week. Tune in next week to find out what else gets added and a roundup of the patch. Leave a like and a sub to the channel if you fancy it. Feel free to join me elsewhere, such as Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and my Steam group. Links are below.
Well, guys, make sure to check out SHADOWFRAX. Absolutely love this guy. His voice is really soothing too. Defo fall asleep to his voice. I could if I wanted to. But with that said, goodbye.